I'm Doug Gerleman, and I'm the facilitator for the meeting tonight. The idea of setting up a Go Green Northbrook actually started about a dozen years ago when I was still chair of the Northbrook Environmental Quality Commission and the Bicycle Task Force. My background was with the Federal Department of Transportation. I reviewed transportation plans, justification for projects that were proposed for funding for federal money. And one of the requirements was public participation. And at the village of Northbrook, I was expecting to have a very exuberant public outreach to tell people what was going on. And in addition, I had expected the village of Northbrook to be talking to the school districts, the park district, to Glenview, to Wilmette, and I found out that doesn't happen very often. There isn't what I would really call a public participation process. And so, I did okay as in the Environmental Quality Commission, but I did get tired after 15 years, and I took a 2-year respite. And in the process, one of the things I did with the Environmental Commission is reach out to Wilmette. And I found they had an organization called Go Green Wilmette. And it was very interesting because it was several parents that got together to decide they wanted to have safety training for for bicycle users in the kids' elementary school. And the village wouldn't give them any support. And so they reached out as a community and hired some people from Active Transportation who came up and presented the course. And that continued year after year. And they continued the momentum until finally they had a lot of people that were interested in environmental issues, and the Wilmette Public Library actually started sponsoring like monthly presentations for them. So the whole thing really expanded, and I knew what was going on. I met the people, in Wilmette, and I thought that's pretty cool. So after a couple of years retirement from environment and bicycles, Wilmette kept asking me to set up a Go Green Northbrook, and I said, okay, maybe it's time, and it is time. We've got a nice turnout. We started an Earth Day celebration here at the village, and we now have like 95 people. These are residents of Northbrook or people who actually work in Northbrook are in our group. And so we send them blasts of different emails, what's going on. One of the things we wanted to do is really learn from each other. So we set up teams, people, and we now have 9 teams. And what we're going to do today is I'll have a spokesperson from the various teams come up front. We are going to videotape it, and we'll have a chance to hear what they are proposing to do. Now, they're only going to talk 2 to 3 minutes, so it's not long, but the idea is to give you enough information so at 8:30, at the end of the formal presentations, you'll be able to go over and talk to the people and find out more about what actually is happening. And again, we are filming all of this. Okay. I said one of the most important things of Go Green Northbrook is just to learn from each other. We are a citizens group, but we're really trying hard to identify best practices for our different environmental activities. And so we've actually created something like our champions, environmental champions in town. And we're finding out that what one champion has done, you can repeat in other school districts and throughout the village. But we also want to begin to engage other residents of Northbrook so that we can actually improve the overall environmental quality of the whole community. In fact, we might even go out to the whole state. Right now we're working with a group called CONSEG. It's a conservation organizations. Okay. So it's 14 communities of environmentalists that are working together, and we meet quarterly over at the Botanic Gardens, and you're all invited to attend those meetings. And so we share ideas, and eventually we are creating a kind of a larger group to bring political issues maybe to Springfield, but at least to our individual villages, so we can have some support to do different things. So with that, I'm going to stop here for just a second, and we're going to start to go through the various teams. And at this time, if I could get